Okay, so this is, I always see this as the card for Leos, mainly because of his hair. But this is somebody that's been through a lot. He's there are all these scars on him, so he's been through quite a battle. He's been through the ringer. And I do feel that this person is you. At the heart of the matter, your heart chakra is open. You are able to move forward with like a lot more information, with enlightenment, and you are kind of like goal oriented at this point. You know what you want and you know what to avoid, okay? What's preventing this situation from happening here is I do feel the Queen of Swords. For those of you who might be dealing with like an air sign, or somebody who is very like sharp tongued, sharp witted, but they can be quite hurtful with their words, okay? So an air sign is an Aquarius, a Gemini, and a Libra. But you know, a lot of people are showing up in this spread, so I'm going to read this as somebody who is very, very witty, but who's very like who can cut with her words. So at this point, I feel that a lot of you too might have approached your life with a little bit more like a sense of direction, first of all, but also like less tolerance for BS is what I'm sensing here. You know what you want. You still have your, your sense of humor. You still enjoy life quite a bit, despite all the blows that you've had to endure in the past. But at the same time, you're not going to be tolerant of people and their BS and their facade, their falseness, okay? So moving forward, this is a really nice clean slate type of energy. I do feel that in the past too, with the 8 of Cups in the upright position, a lot of you might have like walked away from a situation in which you were very emotionally invested and you had no choice because it was just too damaging. It was just too hurtful to your pride and to your mental health. So you took like this is not even a break, like a mental health break or anything like that. This is a clean break to start your life all over again, okay? And you are also being supported by the universe to do this. As for what's coming in here, we have the Hermit, and the Hermit is in the reverse position. So, what I'm getting here is that even though you walked away and you were triumphant about walking away and not looking back, a part of you still wonders about the other person, and that's only natural. A lot of you still wonder about. A lot of you might have dealt with this in a love capacity. Okay, family, love, less work related. I feel, but it could also be like work where you're wondering about how your former coworkers are doing, for example, or you're wondering about whatever happened to that situation, whatever to happen to so and so, in that previous situation I was involved in. So a lot of you, there was still like a little bit of I also feel lack of closure as well. Okay, so you don't have all the information. You know it's not good for you, but you don't really know what really transpired, how things dissolve or disintegrated the way they did. So you're still curious. You're still curious about what exactly happened and if there was anything you can do to fix it, to prevent it from happening in the future with another situation that might have a similar theme. So you're still wondering at this point, and because of it, um, you're plagued by the past. Physically, you've moved on. Mentally, emotionally, I would say more so mentally, you're still plagued by the past because emotionally, at this point, you've moved on as well. And what's crowning you here is the Lovers in the reverse position. So this is basically encountering new situations in which you have to make a choice. First of all, it's in the reverse position, so I do sense that you've already made a choice as to what you want to do. A lot of you might have preceded with like a new work situation where you might have to travel quite a bit, for example, and you're quite happy about it. So this is like um, there is a potential as well for a situation from the past, possibly with an air sign who's trying to reel you in, and you're just like, fighting it. Okay, so it's preventing you from starting things on the love front with a new person, if that's something that you're dealing with on the love front. I do feel it might be on the love front because of the cards. And in terms of Okay, so what's crowning you is the lovers. So there is somebody in your midst who you don't feel is relationship material, okay? For some reason, at this point, you have like an enlightened view of the world. You have more insights uh, into your own needs and what will satisfy you and things like that. So you're kind of moving forward and you're trying to like find emotional happiness, okay? So you're like not trying to engage with this new potential love interest that's coming in, mainly because you're just like, well, we're too different, it'll never work, okay? The new person could potentially be a water sign, which is a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio, and he or she is like really fascinated by you. They look up to you, they admire you quite a bit because you have like a very you are a very wise soul. I'm sensing here because you know Nine of Wands is this card. Every time I see this card, it's like he has a tree in his abdomen. So like it's a you know like he's like very spiritually evolved, so it's somebody who's very spiritually evolved, and I do feel I'm going to read this card as you because every time I see it, it's the hair that represents, you know, the epitome of Leo. But the heart chakra is open. He's got like a little golden halo on his head. He's enlightened. He's been through a lot, so he's collected a lot of life experiences which shape the person that he is right now. So somebody sees this in you, and because of it, they're very fascinated by you, and they feel like, you know, by their association with you, they're going to become wise as well. So it could potentially be a new water sign popping in for you. In terms of the advice here, and the advice is that honestly, other people's what other people do at this point will not have any bearing on you. So you can date whoever you want, and you know that you know what you're about, so they're not going to influence you negatively, okay? They're only going to drag themselves down. They're not going to drag you down. So don't be afraid about relationships. Don't be afraid about entering new relationships because you feel that you're going to get hurt. Especially don't be afraid to date people who are very different from you because you feel like ultimately it's not going to work out. Okay, so one of the main thing with this card I'm sensing here is the most enjoyable things about experience, well, about life experiences, but also relationships in general, is that initial getting to know one another stage, okay? And that's always like very exciting. So don't deprive yourself of that opportunity just because you're like projecting years ahead and you're just like, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you, so I don't really want you in my life. So don't deprive yourself of that opportunity, okay? As for what's coming in from your external environment, we do have the Judgment card in the reverse position. So this indicates to me that it can go to one of two ways. And the thing that I am getting here is you're going to be lured back in by people from the past, okay? And at this point, past energies, I would say always, you know, if it didn't work out, scrap them. But when I mean like give people a chance, it's excuse me, it's new energies that you should always give them the benefit of the doubt. And especially if it's new potential love interest that might not strike you as, you know, relationship material, they might surprise you. So I feel that a new, not only, you know, are you looking for new experiences, I do feel that a new sense of like enjoyment in life is going to be in order for you. So you are being like reeled in by old people who haven't really like moved on yet. So that's a challenge that you're going to have to cope with. But once again, go out with the old, in with the new. So always stick with the new things. Okay, that's going to be more conducive for relationships, anyways. So in terms of your hopes and fears here, I do have the Three of Wands, which is, you know, there is hesitancy and there is fear associated with you trying to get this new beginning that you're hoping for, okay? The new beginning is not coming through mainly because you yourself are kind of like in a very jaded mode and you don't really, you're not only commitment shy at this point, but you're kind of like you're jaded. You feel like hurt and you feel very jaded. And especially when it comes to relationships, you feel like, okay, other people have disappointed me over and over again. So I'm just going to live my life like, like I'm on an island, like I'm in my little bubble, and I'm going to take care of myself, and other people can, take a hike. So the only thing is, this is preventing you from engaging in meaningful interactions, social interactions. And as a Leo, I do feel that you need that in order to like feel very emotionally fulfilled. So new beginnings can't come in when you are like living like a hermit, and you're kind of like keeping everybody at an arm's length. Okay, so once again, it's reiterating the same message with the hermit, in that you can't really like extract yourself from unhealthy people because they keep trying to reel you in. But at the same time, there's that element of like, as a fire sign, take a break. Take a break from dating, take a break from relationships in general. Okay, so that's good advice in general. But when it comes to like new people, new experiences, if you feel that you are not adequately ready to date again, only you can make this assessment about yourself. If you feel that you need more time to take a break in between dating people, or in between, life crises, or things like that, take the break and give yourself that buffer between dating partners. Otherwise, the new relationship is going to falter. Or if you feel like, at this point, I know everything, like I've been through it all, I know everything. I do, if you have that type of mentality, I do sense that, taking another break is going to be helpful for you, because there are things that will take a long time to process, and you want yourself to like be healed up. I feel like physically you're healed up, but like there might be some mental energies affecting your ability to move forward. So taking a time off to yourself, and kind of like going off on a retreat, or living like a bubble in a bubble, would be helpful for you to heal the mental scars. Okay, so the physical scars, you're very tough, so you can overcome them. But the mental scars, possibly even emotional scars, a lot of you might be like, still reeling from that, so it would require much longer to heal. So give yourself the time. Okay, in terms of the outcome here, I have the Ace of Coins in the reverse position. So there is going to be a little bit of a financial dip here. And at the same time, news concerning money, news concerning finances are what's stalling. There are stalled communication, news, or financial windfall, or financial payout. That's depriving you of the ability to like start this new venture in your life, this new adventure. Okay, it can be related to travel, it can be related to like property as well. You're hoping for a nice clean break and like a new start, and you feel like you worked really hard, and this financial windfall has to come your way because you deserve it. And I wouldn't argue, you worked really hard, and that's why you're so like scarred, and you're so like, physically it feels like you went through the ringer. So this financial situation is being stalled, and you can't get a clean break from it. And the advice here is that you really have to stand your ground and defend yourself. Okay, this is like speaking up for the things that people owe you, speaking up for yourself, speaking up for, it's kind of like that last leg of the journey. You feel like very depleted and you feel tired, but I do sense that speaking up, claiming your domain, and especially like, you know um, letting people see how adamant you are about getting the outcome that you want, that alone will intimidate your opponents and will bring about the success that you're hoping for. Okay, so I do feel this financial situation itself is going to be stalled until you take that. I would say, you have always been proactive being a fire sign, but this is like stepping up the game just a little bit more. And I do feel like the same energy for Aries. So a lot of you might have to be more vocal about this, okay? More vocal than you already are, but my God, I think that it's required here because you're dealing with like an opposing sign, opposing element and energy. So they're going to, first of all, try to swindle you or try to manipulate you. So be careful. And for the outcome here, I also have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is like institutions. So I'm sensing a lot of you might be like a contractor, for example, and you're waiting, you have this government contract, you did the work, and now you're waiting for funding. So if that's a situation, it is a government type of work. It is going to take quite some time between, the completion of the job and the disbursement of the funding. So at the same time, demand for it, follow up, contact them, follow up on this situation. But at the same time, just know that a little bit of a delay is actually good to keep you a little bit more grounded and in place for the time being, okay? So I hope you have a wonderful week. Let me know how this plays out for you. And please, I would say, like, as a fire sign, I wish I could say, like, be patient, but in this situation, you're dealing with people who might try to renege on their promises. So, call them and follow up and find out why this money situation is delayed. And I do feel that, hopefully for next week, it will clear up for you, but I do feel for this week, there is stalled information, and there's stalled communication. There is like a stalled energy, and which leads me to believe that it's telling you to take it easy and to be patient, but at the same time take some time off to heal whatever, emotional, mental wounds that you might have. Okay, so take care of yourself, Leo.